called to him, but I can hear you just fine in here. All right. Shane Willis in the house now. Well, I need to do Hunter. Wow. Yeah. Well, tell him what we were just talking about. See what he thinks about that real quick, and I'll get it set up and the cameras on him and everything.
Shane, you a baseball fan?
A little bit. Yeah, I'm a Braves fan.
Braves fan? Yeah. Well, do you know the name Madison Bumgarner? He's North Carolina boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have heard of him.
Yeah, Matt, he's a World Series MVP from 2014, San Francisco. Yeah, awesome. And you know, a lot of people a lot of teams don't like when their stars go out and try and do other things, especially if they're dangerous. How would you feel if I told you that Madison Bumgarner also is known by Mason Sanders and he participates in rodeos in his downtime? Wow. Yeah.
Well, my opinion would be you gotta be careful.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a $2 million arm he has right there. I mean, he's a starting pitcher, and
yeah,
you're gonna go out there.
Horses, and my dad and I've rode many bucking horses.
Yeah,
I tried a bucking bull a few times.
Right.
That didn't work out.
Well, I don't know if he was competing with any, like bull riding or breaking horses.
Looked like he was trying to rope a bull.
Well, even then with that arm,
I mean that's a money arm. So
that is a money arm. That is a money arm.
Decision. But hey, he's made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what I said. So far,
he made $25,000 winning one of those.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesime. I guess. I mean,
I don't know if his insurance company would think that with the baseball team. They probably had a heart attack.
They're all every insurance company scrolling around. Do we have a Mason Saunders? Do we have a Mason Saunders?
So you've been bucked. So have you been bucked pretty?
Oh yeah.
A couple of times.
I've been bucked off many times.
Okay,
man, I couldn't imagine.
I say yesterday was Ric Flair's 71st birthday. If everybody knows Ric Flair, and he was the limousine riding, jet flying. I guess Mason Rudolph would be the bull riding, jet flying.
That's great.
Man, that's my ears right there. I can't believe that he's out there doing that right now. Well, we've got Shane Willis in the house, and we were showing folks your website there for a second before you got in here, and awesome. You got a little force. I tell you what, Shane, let me make sure that I'm good on sound, and let me switch you over to this one, and then we'll be 100% sure. Mm-hmm. That's my backup mic, and somebody unprofessional plugged that in. It was actually me.
It's mild. It was low. It was low where I could hear.
Go ahead now.
Hey.
That sounds wonderful to me.
Yeah,
that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, right.
All right, Shane, you tell a little bit about you. Where you from? What's going on?
Well, my name's Shane Willis. I'm from Lincolnton, North Carolina.
There you go.
I've worked out in Nashville, Tennessee, a lot. Currently I'm doing a new album. I've been writing a bunch of songs, and I took a break for a little while from music, but I've played music my whole life. I started out when I was young. Also, we traveled a lot. I was in a group called Wild Heart, and we done really well. We played all over the country. And I've played with a lot of big names that everybody's heard, from Blake Shelton to Darryl Worley, the Dixie Chicks, just a lot of different groups, Done a lot of shows with them, and I came home for a while. I had to raise some youngins, and which has been a blessing to us. But we did that, and I took a break from music, but I got back into it. And now I've kind of got back on the side of just wanting to help people. And so I've been writing songs, and we've been trying to get this album done. Kenny, my drummer over here, he's a big part of it. Have you ever met Damian Horn?
From Nashville? He's up with Big and Rich.
I've heard his name. I have not. I've been working with a few different people up there. A guy named Bruce Boughton. He's well known up there. He does a lot of work with a lot of different record companies. Mm-hmm. He actually owns a lot of publishing, some of Garth Brooks music, stuff like that, which is a big deal. But we've been doing a lot of stuff together. We don't know where it's going to go,
right?
But all we know is we're having fun making music, and and the biggest thing in my heart and on my mind is being able to give back and do for people that's struggling, needing help, and that's all I care about,
awesome.
And that's what we're doing. We're doing this big show coming up,
Well, tell us a little bit about because we have a slightly different audience than Milton does, of course, on the Swamp Shop and everything. So this is the Shock Jocks live sports podcast, and we put it up on, awesome. Of course, Spotify and Apple and everything as well. Yeah. And then so really we cover high school sports on Friday nights. So on this we like to cover everything else.
Right.
So you said you're Tar Heels and Braves.
I'm a Tar Heels fan.
Both of these guys are Tar Heels and Braves fans.
Right there.
Tar Heels
you can come back. That's all I need to say.
Congrats to Tar Heels having the big win last night. So the way I see it is if State beat Duke by 22 points, and Carolina beat State
twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
So that pretty much says all it needs to say.
Yeah,
and Carolina would have beat Duke, but we got kind of shafted on that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, we were actually at the Hornets game, reporting on that during that game, and I was standing at a TV, and there was, I would say, half the stadium was watching and looking at their phones during the Duke Carolina game.
I was paying
It was
attention
bad.
to that one.
Yeah.
It was. That's just
The Hornets were only down about 25 at that point.
Yeah,
I think.
Without Dirk and Luka playing against them, so
that ball game was a little bit more entertaining than the one we were trying to watch.
It was.
So.
I'll say that they had 20 chances to win.
Yeah,
and they should have won, but hey,
yep.
couldn't hit a free throw.
Couldn't hit a free throw.
Well, you think they need to practice more free throws?
They need to do something.
Do you think they need to?
Oh yeah.
Hey, did Duke win last night?
No,
They got beat.
they did.
Everybody did DukeWin.com. Go and check that out. The answer is no.
Yeah, did Duke
Well,
win?
check out the shirt there behind you. Friends don't let friends go to Duke. Just say
exactly
no.
right.
So,
I think they give up 112 to Wake Forest.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Double
And over
overtime.
your left shoulder is a Rasheed Wallace Washington Bullets jersey. So for
There you
the
go,
old
man.
Tar Heel fans right
That's
there.
awesome. That is awesome.
So Shane's in a good place today in Tar Heel land of Calvin down the hall. I showed him the Tar Heel room and all the posters.
That was sweet.
All
As
the
long as my
posters,
son don't get him sick, I hope. So, hey, tell me about your kids. You wanna talk about-
I got a daughter. She's 19. Her name's
Okay.
Destiny Self.
Yep.
And she goes to Wingate University.
Yeah.
She's going to be something. I
Yeah.
hope.
That's the plan.
Right now it's pharmacy school, and I think that's
Okay.
going to be her path.
I was gonna say, is there any
Yeah.
musical?
Not a lick.
Yeah, not a lick.
Actually, she did sing a song with me, and it's on
Yeah.
my website. And she can sing a little bit.
Yeah.
And she sings in church, and then her brother, his name's Caden Self.
Yeah.
And these are my basically their extended family.
Yeah.
We've had them for a long time. And
Okay.
They're just like my own kids, But he's goes to Lincoln High School, and he's a sophomore.
Okay.
And he don't sing either. he loves sports, and
Right.
he swims, does things like that. But he's a good kid.
Is he playing anything over at Lincoln yet? As a sophomore, any sports or anything? Got involved in anything?
He did swim, and
Okay.
actually this year they done better. This first time they've went as far as they've went in the regionals.
I honestly didn't
in
know Lincoln
Charlotte.
had a swimming
I
team.
didn't either.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
so that's
A lot of people
that's
don't.
news to me.
And-
Where do they swim at the Citizen Center? Or,
Yeah,
okay.
they do. Actually, over at the YMCA.
Right.
Yeah, and so they swim there, but a lot of people don't know they have a swim team, and they hadn't done that well. But every year they're getting better and
Didn't think
better.
about
And this
the
year they
Lions.
went to the regionals in Charlotte.
Neat.
Cool.
That's good when the
Yeah.
schools can have
Absolutely.
different type of sports for.
But I went to
different
West
kids.
Lincoln now. I graduated
Right.
from West.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and I don't know if you guys have seen that Cannon Bridges, I think it was. And,
Yep.
And the other kid, they finished first in the state.
Xander Pendergrass both
Yeah,
won state
Pendergrass, that's
championships.
right.
They were
Awesome.
off the
Okay.
backfield for the West Lincoln Rebels
Yep.
football team this year, and
Yeah.
that's tough two guys to tackle. I think Cannon ended up setting the county record maybe.
Yeah.
This year, so the Rebels had a good year with Coach Ponder and the gang. So
Yeah, they did.
go Rebels, go
Yeah,
Braves,
that's right.
Go Tar
Go
Heels.
Tar
Anybody
Heels.
else?
Well-
What, NFL? You Panthers or?
Oh yeah,
or
I got to be a Panther fan. We
Redskins.
live in North Carolina.
You're not a Redskins or Cowboys
I was
fan.
49ers.
Okay,
I was Steve Young, Jerry Rice.
I was
Up
wondering. You're too
Yeah.
old to be a born Panthers
That's
fan,
right.
right?
yeah.
That's why.
I was 49ers,
Well,
and then
see-
after they left, Steve Young.
Right.
You were,
Jerry
you were
Rice.
happy this year, weren't you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Deep down, the kid deep down was like, "Come on,
Yeah.
let's just
That's
have
right.
let's just have Joe Montana."
Yeah, one of my
walk
good
through
buddies.
these
He's a
doors."
Kansas City fan, but
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm pulling for you, but I'm pulling for them too.
Do you
yeah.
think
I don't
San
care who wins.
Francisco should take a chance at Brady if he says, I want to be, he was born and raised a 49ers fan, and he said, I want to be, what if he says, I want to come to San Francisco?
He ain't going nowhere. There's no way. There's no way he can go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's a legend where he's at. A lot of people don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do like him. You have to respect him for what he is.
Right.
And, hey, I like him.
Well, he's been getting paid, what, about $2,500? And he's asking, what I'm looking at is
30.
3 years for $100 million is what they're asking.
That ain't bad.
And yeah,
That's not bad.
That's still a
Unbelievable.
discount.
but do the Patriots? The question is, do the Patriots want to do that? Does Belichick want
I
to do
don't
that?
think they will.
Belichick doesn't like to
You
pay
know, what I
anybody.
don't like to see is these guys, these quarterbacks, go out like some of them do. They just hang on and hang on and hang on.
Yeah.
I'd rather see them go out as
Yeah.
a legend.
I agree.
Finish
Just
on
quit
a,
now.
You want him
You
to
know-
pull a Peyton Manning Super Bowl right off into the
Absolutely.
sunset. And I
That's
thought,
exactly
I
right.
was expecting Brady not to do that this past year, but the year
Yeah.
prior
Yeah.
when he went the lowest scoring Super Bowl I've ever seen
Oh yeah.
against the Rams. I
Yeah.
thought, well, this is a perfect time just to
Yeah, just
hitch
go
it
ahead.
out of here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know they love the game, and it's hard to stop doing something you love. I can't imagine,
Right.
but still, I wished he'd go out like a champ.
As a Panthers fan, I know you just said you're a Panthers fan here in North Carolina. Do you know exactly what they're going to do with Cam Newton? Do you have anything in your heart you would like to see them do at the quarterback position?
Well, I'd like to see him do what they pay him to do, which is run the ball.
Okay.
I'd like to see him run. I'd like to see him throw and run. You know, to be more of a threat, to be another man on the field that they got to deal with. That's when he was his best. That's how he won championships.
They made the defenses go 11 on 11.
Yeah. So, my opinion, if you're going to keep him, you got to get your money's worth.
I think they announced yesterday that it looks like they're going to, and it looks like from what I could gather is they're doing it because he's not healthy.
Right.
There's nobody. Right. They're not anybody.
See, that's what I read into it.
Yeah.
Other people,
he's not healthy to trade.
They've come out. Every time you ask them a question, they say he's not healthy.
Yeah.
If he was their starter, number one starter, would they not say, with the new owner and new coach, not be like,
Cam's
this is Superman, boys, we're getting it right.
Yeah.
They haven't said nothing like
coach,
that. Well, if he's healthy,
and
Matt
Rule came out and said he's not promising spots to any players in his first year coaching. He's not guaranteeing playing time.
I mean, should a reporter, the question I think someone should ask Hunter, currently right now, what is the Panthers depth chart? And see what Rule says. And see what Rule says.
It'd be silent.
Yeah, it's not.
What do you think he'd say?
He'd say on to Cincinnati.
On to
could you imagine if Jerry Jones, let's just use Jerry Jones as an owner, if he was sitting beside Cam, how would he be addressing Cam? You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, this is, you know how Jerry is.
Yeah.
He'd be
get out there and play football.
So we got a definite problem. We've talked about it on here before, and I'm ready to move on if we can get some draft picks. But if he's not healthy, you're not going to get any compensation for him. So throw him out there. See if he can build. If he's healthy, he can build up his tradability again. And then if they want to start over, they're going to have to start over. So because I don't want to waste McCaffrey. And we're going to waste him because he's been there 2 years. Is that right? 2.
Yeah, he's going to be wore out.
He's going to be So I'm concerned about wasting a really, really good player.
Yep, me too. He's awesome
for being horrible. We're gonna be horrible.
It's gonna be horrible. You just accept.
I'm hoping not. There is times where
look, hey, in the words of what James Borrego said to me, head coach of the Hornets, you got to be competitive.
Years ago,
you can't just be horrible. You got to be competitive. Even though they're getting blown out by 30, you got to be competitive.
Years ago in the NFC South, if you finish last, the next year you finish first.
Borrego got a little smart with Hunter a week ago, and so Hunter's not a fan of him right now.
Oh yeah, he's holding a little in his heart.
In Borrego's defense,
animosity, all right.
Borrego's defense, I think Hunter didn't know who he was, right?
Well, yeah. That's what you should have been like. Well, we don't know you.
Who are you? I'm the coach of the Hornets. We don't know.
He looked at me and said, "Who are you?" And I should have looked right back. Said, "Who are you?"
That's awesome.
Well, and Zach, Tom confirmed the attitude from the coach. So they had just got beat by 30 as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Hunter apparently asked a fair question. So it wasn't like he wasn't like, Coach, y'all stunk.
Are y'all tanking?
Yeah.
Well, Milton said he's gonna be ready for just a minute. You want to play any type of tune or anything before you go in, or before, just something quick before you go around? We got Shane Willis in out of Lincoln, a former Rebel. And we're going to show you his website here online, folks, ShaneWillisMusic.com. I'll shut up.
All right. Yeah, I'll do you a little bit of this one here. This is actually a song that we're releasing right now. Just released out a couple days ago. A song I wrote called What Country Boys Do. 38's on my 350, burning tires and rolling smoke. Jacked up high, a gun rack in the window. A fire so high it'll reach the sky. We blow things up on the 4th of July. Music turned up loud as we play it for the crowd. That's what country, that's what country, that's what country boys do. Make our own rules, drink our home brew, school cans and cowboy booze. We like to play some Hank with our radios cranked. That's what country boys do. working from 9 to 5, mixed with a little more overtime. A pretty little woman that's waiting on me at home. I pull in, it's her pretty smile, her long blonde hair and dark green eyes. She gives me them butterflies from head to toe. A campfire down by the lake, romancing on my tailgate. That's what country, that's what country, that's what country boys do. Make our home rules, drink our home brew, school cans and cowboy boots. We like to play some Jones and the Rolling Stones. That's what country boys do. That's a little of it.
Outstanding. One man or two man clap.
Thank you.
Yeah, outstanding,
Hey,
Shane. Milton and them are going to love you in there. Absolutely.
absolutely.
So, folks, listen on the podcast part. Shane Willis, ShaneWillisMusic.com.
Yes, sir.
Make sure I say that right. And he's about to get on the radio here with Milton and the gang, but joining the Shock Jocks podcast. Little surprise music for all of us. I'm glad you're in there here this morning. We started early today for a few different reasons, but glad to have the Panthers fan,
That's right.
Braves fan,
Tar
Tar Heel fan. I mean, from Lincoln, and you just this is your type of
bill.
player.
You fit the bill.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having
Thank
me.
you.
All right, you're
sir.
welcome, Shane. Thanks for joining us.
right.
Shane
Thank you
Willis,
so much.
ShaneWillisMusic.com. Thanks, Shane. Have a good interview there with Milton, and we're going to break down more Cam Newton talk here in just a second.